Hello, YouTube. Thank you for watching. This is Gotmark76. I'm going to try something a little bit different right now. With today being August 1st and the launch of the Wrestling Network, I wanted to upload something kind of behind the scenes. We've been given some freedom here by the admins of the Wrestling Network Facebook page to not only upload our shows and our content, but also basically anything we want. If we come up with a creation and we want to promote it, we can do that. But if we do some other things, like behind the scenes stuff, like I'm doing right now, I was given the go ahead to do that too. I thought I would take maybe a 15-minute to create a video, to create an image from scratch, to show you guys some of the work that goes into this. And this, and what I do, I guess I should say in general, is a fraction of what some of the other guys do. We have members of the Wrestling Network and, of course, members all throughout the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One community who go above and beyond what I'm going to be showing right here. For example, I use Pixlr, which is a free web-based application. It's not a download. You can actually go to a website, and this is what I'm doing right now. I'm on the internet, and I would say it's like Photoshop Lite. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of Photoshop. For somebody who, like me, only uses photo editing or editing software for wrestling game logos, yes, I said that I said that out loud. It's on YouTube. It will live forever. I do not use this software for anything else other than WWE 2K wrestling game uploads. Yes, that is true. I'm an alcoholic. No, I just came clean. I am obsessed with creating logos, finding images, and making them my own. And what I'm going to do here is take an interview set from 1988. If you can look up in the top corner, you'll see I have YouTube WWF Superstars from June 18th, 1988. And that's what I'm going to create. That back screen right there, with those lines and that continent. And I'm going to use it for a future episode of Primetime Wrestling, which I uploaded the first episode already. If all goes according to plan, I'm recording this on Sunday. Well, it's, I guess technically Monday morning at 12:30. So if all goes according to plan, I will have already shared a link to the Primetime Wrestling episode that I wanted to launch, and this will be following suit. So if everything goes according to plan, then you already know that. So I am going to use this for a future episode. I'm going to upload my episodes once a week to the Wrestling Network Facebook page with a pay-per-view or a Spectrum Wrestling each month. So that's going to be Gotmark76 going forward. I will be focusing on mid to late 80s WWF. I will still probably continue my NWA storyline. My last pay-per-view was the Great American Bash pay-per-view. I thank you all who have watched it, liked it, and commented. We had the big reveal of the masked wrestlers that were tormenting the faces of the NWA during the Great American Bash tour. We did the big reveal. So I think it's only natural that I continue that storyline, but instead of maybe doing a weekly show or what have you, I'll probably just do a Clash of the Champions or a pay-per-view to kind of keep that going, because I do have an end in sight, and I would like to finish that out. But I think I'm going to be concentrating more on this WWF project, especially with the announcement of 2K19 and a lot of the wrestlers that are going to be incorporated into that game. I definitely want to keep NWA as an option, but for right now, I think I will focus on the WWF. So currently I have Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff as my World Heavyweight Champion. Quick backstory. I never really heard of pro wrestling. Growing up, it was Mr. T. Yeah, again, I said it out loud. I'm coming clean. Mr. T in WrestleMania 1 was teaming with Hulk Hogan. I didn't know who Hulk Hogan was, but I sure as hell knew who B.A. Baracus was from the A-Team. And when I heard that Mr. T was going to wrestle on WrestleMania 1, we didn't have pay-per-view back then. You had closed circuit TV, but my dad was very gracious enough to rent the video when it came out. So you're talking probably, I didn't watch WrestleMania 1, even though it happened in March. I probably didn't watch it until June, when it was released on cassette. And one of the things that I remember from that forever, for the rest of my life I will remember, was Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff taking the pinfall in that match and being left behind by his partners. And, you know, when you're 9 years old and you're like, oh my God, why'd they leave that guy behind? It tells a story, and it hit me as a 9-year-old kid. I felt bad for Mr. Wonderful. I'm like, why did his friends leave him behind? And Mr. Wonderful was my first favorite wrestler. It was based on him being left behind. So I started watching him and cheering him on. And sure enough, during that course of the rest of 1985 into 1986, he was my favorite wrestler. And when he turned heel on Hulk Hogan in the summer of '86, I'll never forget it. My cousin Mike had a birthday. He's gonna kill me. July. it was a July birthday, and I don't know how old he was in 1986, but he had a birthday in July of '86. It was the day that Orndorff turned on Hogan. And I remember my uncle coming up to me and asking me what was wrong. I was sitting in my dad's lap. I was kind of all, moping around and all sad. And my uncle goes, "Why are you so upset?" And I said, "Because Paul Orndorff turned on Hulk Hogan." And my uncle, trying to, I think, make me feel better and trying to offer support, said, "Oh, don't worry. Hulk Hogan will get his revenge." And I said, "No, you don't understand. Now I have to cheer for the bad guy." So at 9 years old, I'm cheering the heels because Mr. Wonderful was my favorite. It didn't matter if he broke the rules. He was my favorite. So long story longer, Mr. Wonderful is my champion in the current booking of my Primetime Wrestling and my World Wrestling Federation universe. So we are going to be heading towards the big event, which is in August. 3 weeks from now. We'll just say that because, again, it's 12:40, and I don't know what day and what time it's going to be uploaded, but the big pay-per-view I will be releasing to the Wrestling Network will be the big event. So I am doing some promo work and some interviews set up here, like we're doing right now, to set up the big event. So again, the current product of wrestling, I still watch it. I still follow it very closely. I just feel that overall, and this is not a shot at the performers, this is a shot at the creative, or one man in particular. And that is, the storylines, the feuds, they are all insulting of my intelligence. It's gotten to a point where I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to watch it, not because of the talent. I'm very happy for. And there we go. I got what I was looking for there. I'm very happy for the talent. I'm happy that Samoa Joe and AJ Styles are being featured prominently. I like Rusev. I love NXT. I mean, you can really do no wrong with them right now. My issue is that every single week I'm forced to watch Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, or I don't have a desire to see that. And if I had a desire to see it, it's sure not the way that's being presented. So again, it's not a shot at the talent. It's a shot at how they're booked. It's a shot at how interesting, or their lack of, they are. And to me right now, it's just not a great time to be a wrestling fan. So instead, I spend a lot of my time in the creative world. And the video games are huge. I'm 41 years old, and I play wrestling video games. And I know many people my age and older who are playing Madden all the time. They're playing the WWE games all the time. Fortnite is huge. There's what Destiny or something like that. These role-playing games. So video games is probably bigger now than it's ever been at any point in my life. And it's just going to get bigger. And WWE 2K does a decent job because they allow a lot of creative freedom. You can create your own wrestler, You can create your own logo, your own show. You can create your own arena, your own ring. So for those of us who loved watching the late 80s or early 90s NWA, we can now create our arena. We can upload the apron. We can take a screenshot of on the WWE network, screenshot it, edit a couple things out of it, upload it to the servers of WWE 2K, and we have that arena in our game. It's really cool what they've done, and I'd rather spend my time that I would normally be watching the current product to just creating stuff. And here I am right now. It's 12:45 on Sunday or Monday morning, excuse me, and I'm creating a backstage interview set, that one right there, for a video on YouTube. So it's something I've really enjoyed doing. I've done this a lot. My wife kind of makes fun of me for it, and yes, I'm married. My wife makes fun of me for it, but it's fun. It's something I do to. I would say it's probably a hobby. It's probably the best term to use, but I'm clearly not as good as some of the people, especially those here in the Wrestling Network. I am a proud B team member, so Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas would be proud. But Dealy0316, he's part of the group Zach. If you're on PlayStation 4, you need to do a search for Dealy0316. That guy has logos that are just perfect. He is a perfectionist. I don't know if he's a perfectionist. I just started talking to him and texting him recently with the Wrestling Network coming in, but he does such a good job that he might as well be a perfectionist. They are so good. They are better than in-game quality. That is just, and that's not blowing smoke. That is legit. He is a stud when it comes to creating logos and attention to detail. Bilski, as we all know, dare I say, he's one of our fearless leaders, has done such a great job of creating the Veteran Stadium. We have Clint, Uvular Wall, Neil. We have so many great creators here that I'm just happy to be part of it. And I'm going to try and offer what I can, which in this case is going to be a B-rate interview set. So just to show you what it's going to look like, I took a screenshot of another member of the Wrestling Network, Tongue List. Tongue List is on PS4 as well. His creations are, again, he creates wrestlers, championship belts, and etc. And it is better than some of the in-game wrestlers. It is so good. And I'm happy to be working alongside of him. I'm going to take his Rowdy Roddy Piper that he created. I don't think you guys can see this. You guys probably see some random arrow going up and down, scrolling around. But I'm going to be uploading a Rowdy Roddy Piper. Oop, that's not it. A Rowdy Roddy Piper. And I'm going to, I guess, inside of this video, show you how I edit some of the stuff out. So there's my Rowdy Piper, or not mine, tongueless Rowdy Roddy Piper that I'm going to create a new image for. Cut, copy, paste, and then get rid of some of that green stuff. Now, I'm not going to do a, if I was to do a detailed, like really, really detailed job, this would probably be an hour and a half long video. And yeah, it does. It takes me that long. Again, I'm not as talented as some people. And a lot of times I end up getting 75% done my image, and then I end up having another idea altogether. I mean, that happens a lot more than I would like to admit. But in this case, just for the video that I'm trying to share with you guys here, I'm going to do a quick job of getting Roddy Piper superimposed on top of my newly created interview set. And we'll make that work. So I'm excited for the Wrestling Network. Like I said, I've been talking with a bunch of people who are involved here for the last couple weeks. I say this with peace and love, that you step away from your cell phone for 20 minutes and then you come back and there's 52 text messages. It's just really cool. You know, we're all on the same page. We're all fans of the older school of pro wrestling. We have Misfit is a big fan in introducing us to talent from the UK that we never even heard of. I mean, it's just really cool that the tight knit, I guess, rapport that we've kind of built with each other over the last couple of weeks. And I'm just happy to be part of it. It's an honor, and I'm going to do everything I can to not disappoint. But here I am. I'm just taking out some of that green screen now. I could have done a higher tolerance, like I'm going to change right now, but that would have taken in some of Piper's hair away and colors that were darker but not quite green. So you fool around. You get all the big stuff, and then you go into a little bit more detail with the eraser tool. Which again, if I erase part of his hand or his head, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to try and give you guys an idea of what I was looking to do here. But again, Photoshop, if you have the $300, if you have the $10 a month to do it, by all means. But I would never use it for anything else other than this. So I don't know if I can justify spending that money for it. I can use the free program and get similar results. Again, I'm not as good as some of the guys who do it, but I'm happy with what I do. We all have our own little roles, so happy to have mine. So again, I'm not really worried too much if I take off his skin or his hair or his shirt. And actually, now the more I think of it, it doesn't really matter because that back screen was blue anyway, so it might actually mesh in pretty well. But some of that stuff would be pretty obvious, so we'll take some. He's going to get a haircut. Piper's getting a haircut. Every time I see Piper, I think of They Live. Came here to do two things. Kick ass and chew bubble gum. I'm almost out of bubble gum. We'll just finish this up here. Again, I don't want to say I'm a stickler for details. I try to be a stickler for details, and then it just gets to the point where I'm 2 hours in and I'm not anywhere near done, and I say, okay, we're going to cut this out. So thankfully, this video is only about 17 minutes long. So lucky for you that we're not well, I guess I could have sped it up, but either way, I'm going to be happy with that. We're going to cut Piper out. We're going to paste him on top of the globe image that I created. And you will be seeing something similar to this in the next couple weeks on Primetime Wrestling Gotmark76. That's going to about do it for me right now. But again, I just wanted to launch this something behind the scenes. We were given carte blanche by the editors of the Facebook page to load whatever we wanted to do. And I thought it would be cool to take a few minutes and kind of load behind the scenes. So thank you for watching, and please continue to support the page, Gotmark76, the Wrestling Network. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.